Good evening, everybody. MATTROISE here with another live stream tonight of Tales from the Territories. Heels from the Carolinas. We're going to have a great time here tonight. Hope you guys are ready. Allow me to be your eyes and ears for this show. I'll give you play-by-play. What's up, Rorito?
You talk about heat. Oh my gosh, the place erupted. People were crying. It was truly unbelievable how much
good questions, guys.
That wrestling fans have. And the announcers came out and said as a result of Cornette hitting her with that racket, they're afraid she's never going to be able to have children. And
got my new belt here.
Who wants a thing like that to reproduce?
My new Winged Eagle title. What's up, Ann? How you doing? Look at that. A beauty. Look at this. Beautiful, beautiful title. What's up, Aaron?
And the noose is at the end of a nice long rope, and one of them picks me up over his shoulder, carrying me out the back door through the people. They're jumping up and down, and they take me out back, and there's a pickup truck waiting. I was in the
What's up,
pickup.
Joe?
The James boys had like hog-tied Cornette, and the signal was whenever they tapped on the side of the truck, I was supposed to take off. When they had me behind the pickup truck and they're tying the rope up, I got my
What's up, Cameron?
under that rope, right? I'm just thinking, I'm not going to let anybody see, but I'm just my safety valve here because I hear Dusty and Magnum have both jumped in that truck and she's supposed to take off because I'm like so excited.
Title?
Like so much, and I'm so like, oh, we got to do this, we got to do this.
Actually, not that much, actually.
And I take off. When she popped it in gear, the truck lurches and the midnight.
Yeah, about $250. Retail is like $450. I got it for a really good price.
You got one shot at it in those days. There wasn't fancy editing, there wasn't special effects. Almost everybody would say err on the side of doing damage, because if you err on the other side, it's going to look like shit and we look like phonies and nobody will buy it. So there was an element of sacrifice for the business. I nearly killed Cornette with the pickup, but I took off. I did what I was supposed to do.
She had a job to do, baby doll.
A second-generation wrestler, Baby Doll, used her unique size, strength, and punk rock style to carve out her own niche in the pro wrestling.
So, guys, you got any good questions?
But it wasn't her looks that got her the job.
Type them in the chat. I'll answer them during the commercial break.
When I came to Charlotte, North Carolina, you were already there. Tell me about that. What was...
I had literally grown up in the business. My parents had promoted every week for decades. I had started in World Class Championship Wrestling with Gino Hernandez. They were looking for a bodyguard for him. And so I got the great idea, since I had this huge crush on Gino, that I would actually call the Dallas office. So I stole my dad's black book, called the Dallas office, gave him this spiel like, hey, I'm smart, I'm pretty, and whenever I meant smart, I thought like book smart. I didn't know smart wrestling smart because my parents had never smarted me up. That's how strict kayfabe was at the time.
Kayfabe, yeah.
I walk in the dressing room, and they're telling me the whole sequence of what to do, and I've got like 7 things I've got to be on point for, and there's, do you have it? Can you do this? I was like, yeah. What do we want from you? And I was like, to be a big badass, like I can kick anybody's ass. And they're like, that's what we want. And they left, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's how they do it. my very first match, I didn't know what a finish was. So I worked with World Class for a couple of months, and then I had 2 shots left. Michael Hayes was booking the territory. He explained that I needed to go talk to Dusty. Dusty was in the next dressing room, and Dusty was, quote-unquote, getting ready to blow the Carolinas up. And sure enough, Dusty called me the next
What's up,
day.
Anne-Marie?
He was like, can you be here tomorrow? Yes, sir, I sure can. And I loaded up the car and I headed out. So it was just perfect timing.
And can I tell you something? The camera loved you.
Yes. Oh, yes, it did.
You looked absolutely dropped.
There's Arn Anderson.
Before rebranding herself as a babyface,
What's up, Harper?
Baby Doll began her run in the territory as a heel and was so reviled, while Dusty Rhodes was so beloved that even the battle of the sexes took a backseat to the crowd's hatred of the new.
Oh,
Females in the audience, they're standing up.
Dusty Rhodes just slapped.
Hit her again.
He just slapped her in the face.
To actually have the females hate you just as much or more as the man did.
So when a storyline angle was created to force Baby Doll to have to work for Dusty,
Damn, you can't see that anymore today. Dusty Rhodes slapped her in the face.
set for an angle that would have Baby Doll fighting for her life.
If he did that today, forget it.
That anyone who got too close.
30 days that I had with Dusty, I had to stay in character, I had to be a heel. You had to be in character, like to be the heel on the outside and be so appalled and be trying to figure out like how to get back to Tully. But then you also wanted to like mess with Dusty so that he'd lose his match, because I didn't want to be with Dusty. I didn't want to go down to the ring with him. So at the end of the match, he would hook my neck with the bull rope.
Ooh.
We're going through the crowd, and Dusty's pulling me, and I'm pulling back, and someone pulls me, gets a whole handful of my hair, like a big handful, like one of those that I can't just twist out and go, they've got my hair. So Dusty's pulling, somebody's pulling here, and just to save myself, I took my fist and I swung, and out of the corner of my eye, I see who I'm going to hit, and it's a pregnant woman standing on a chair.
Ooh.
You what?
Wow. That's crazy. All right, let's start off with these questions, everybody. Okay. Where we ask, name your 5 biggest attributes you would want to have to become a wrestler. That's a very good question. 5 attributes, I'd have to say strength, power, speed, agility, and being able to get my point across, speak. What pay-per-views would you take out from the current pay-per-view lineup, and which ones would you put in? I'm not exactly sure. As far as I know, I think they're doing good things with the pay-per-views, but I don't think I would change anything right now. Except for WrestleMania being 1 night instead of 2 nights. That is ridiculous. Pure ridiculousness. 5 favorite ECW stars of all time. Good question. RVD, Sabu, The Sandman, Taz, and Shane Douglas. What has been the key to a successful relationship with Sarah? You know, just being able to compromise and working together as a team rather as 2 separate entities. Name 1 favorite Royal Rumble elimination of all time, Garrett asks. When Santino Marella was in the Rumble for 1 second. What are your current thoughts of WWE since Triple H took over? I think he's doing a good job. Sarah purchased me at a wedding. I was the best man, and I was auctioned off for a date with somebody. Sarah paid $25. I was able to raise the most money for the bridal party. From the bridal party, I raised $25. I was nervous, though. There were guys betting on me, too. I was really nervous. What led to the downfall of TNA Wrestling? Hulk Hogan. Which non-main event stars did you enjoy most in WCW? The Cruiserweight division was on point, and Chris Jericho. If you were a wrestler, what wrestling submission move would you use? The Sharpshooter. Joe asks, what about Luke Lesnar versus Dijak? I don't know who Luke is. I know Brock. You move 3 different places all over the world. Where would you move to? Good question. I'd say Canada, Lake Placid, or I'd have to say California. Even though I've never been there, I would love to check it out. What storylines would you create for AEW to be more successful? I'd say that's a very good question. I'd say try to make the younger talent get pushed more rather than relying on the older talent. If you could choose to be in one match for your debut in wrestling, who would you pick and why? I gotta go with Brock Lesnar, Hell in a Cell. Make a statement. What were my first thoughts when CM Punk in AEW to now? CM Punk, I thought that was the pivotal moment for AEW to really step up. To really step up. $25. Yeah, the others only raised $10, so I rose the most. I was able to raise the most money, so I beat everyone else. But yeah, I thought he was the answer, and he was like one of the worst things that they could have done. They should have went with Bray. More questions, guys. I have answers. Jeez, Ric Flair. This guy was always bloodied. Brock's son? Oh, I didn't know that. Joe. Is he gonna wrestle? Riot at the Omni.
So we're in Atlanta, we're in the Omni, and if you remember the Omni, it was black everywhere except over the ring, which gave it the most unbelievable ambiance that you can ask for in a wrestling match. It was the best, and it's still my favorite arena of all time. So this was one of the weirdest turns of events.
When world champion good guy Ric Flair finds himself taking the beating of a lifetime, local hero and babyface Dusty Rhodes climbs into the cage to save the day.
Well, Dusty Rhodes.
Flair is a strange way of showing his gratitude.
Flair looks around, clips Dusty, who was just saved his ass.
Oh.
Flair had turned on Dusty, attacking him, joining forces with the villainous Anderson brothers, and betraying not only his ally, but also the fans who had supported him.
Wow.
Flair's heel turn infuriated the already rabid crowd, who were now screaming for revenge and demanding blood.
The baby faces, who were always used to seeing succeed, shit the bed. And they had never seen that before. They started climbing that cage. When we knocked them off, the shit hit the fan. Door opens, and about 15 people wide and about 15 people deep just push forward.
Oh.
And push that cage door back shut. Now, I can't explain. It's like all the air went out of the room. I think Ole said, let's get out of here. He had been there before. I had never been where we were at that moment in time. Because when it goes from screaming to silent, somebody's fixing to get stabbed.
Oh.
Dusty still laid there. He didn't get that. Yeah.
A sword.
Yes.
It's the reason everything fell into place. Had it not been for 10 Atlanta police officers who came down with their nightsticks and beat them back enough to get the door open and us to drop down and start heading towards the locker room, they surrounded us. And brother, those wrestling fans beat the ever-loving piss out of us.
Oh, shoot.
And they're not sticking them, but they're coming, they're throwing, 4 beers are hitting us, we're getting hit in the head. The 2 cops that were in front of us, and we're in like single file, and I I just remember them trying to double leg me, trying to double leg, Ole, and we're all trying to look after each other. And I just remember the cops saying, "Keep going, damn it, keep going." And I swear, for the one and only time in my life, in that setting, I thought I was gonna die.
Oh, jeez. Jeez, that's crazy. All right, let's continue with the next questions here. Let's see where we're at here. Are you going to do spelling bee tournament and themes tournament to start a new year or the end of this year? That's a good question. I'm not sure yet. It's a good idea, though. Are you incorporating anything new on the stream for the new year? Not that I'm aware of. Not that I'm aware of. I think I'm going to stick to the same format. It's working, so I'm going to keep doing that. The cameos, I think, are doing well for prizes, and I might do more cameos in the future. Sandman was good, and James Ellsworth was good as well. Rogue Monster Ice again. Can you not do prize for 2 months? That's a possibility. I may do so. And if someone keeps impersonating me, telling people they won prizes on Instagram, I may consider it. What would I do if I ever met Katie Forbes? Oh, I would want a hug. I want a hug. And I'll tell her, hey, we share the same birthday, and we could run away together. No, I'm joking. If I could do a debut gimmick match, not wrestler, what type of match would you pick between Hell in a Cell, Inferno match, or Elimination Chamber? I say Hell in a Cell. Best 7 technicians of all time you've seen in your lifetime: Bret Hart, Owen Hart, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Jericho, Dean Malenko, if I had to pick 2 more technicians, one's very controversial, Chris Benoit and Kurt Angle. Sure, Roy, yep, you're going to get a 4-episode deal. Just like Nick's 4-episode deal. If it works out, if we get views, we continue. If not, we pull the plug. No. Your top 4 guilty pleasures. I'd say carbs. Carbs are probably on the top of the list, with sugar, pizza, and all that stuff. Guilty pleasures. I like to watch TikTok sometimes, and the interesting things that go on TikTok. I like to peruse Instagram as well, and I like chocolate. Chocolate's good too. Idea of the cameos. I think that was your idea, Rory. My favorite ice cream is Rebel Ice Cream Keto. Rebel Ice Cream. However, it has been bothering my stomach lately with all the sugar alcohols, so I decided to refrain from eating much ice cream. 5 favorite Sandman matches, Garrett.
Assault on the beloved Dusty Rhodes.
Definitely with Sabu. I think November to Remember. It was like a ladder match, TLC match. Forgot which year. Great match. Any match with Sabu was awesome.
Imagine being in a 15-minute fist fight. You can't take a blow. You can't take a break.
I think that's yeah, it's great, Rory. I'm very proud of you to accomplish such a thing. What's up, Jovan? Well, I was doing the questions rapid fast. I'm sure I missed a few, though.
When we got in, there's the weirdest thing. We busted in the locker room.
More questions, guys. I have answers.
as hard as you can possibly breathe and believe.
Yeah, I caught up with all the questions. I'm doing good tonight.
On the match. We just looked at each other and you could tell we almost got killed.
Yeah.
I could imagine.
What would happen if the officers had not come to the ring to save you guys?
One of two things. We would either still be in that cage or they'd killed us.
Oh, they would have killed him, yeah.
And when I say killed us, I don't mean just beat us up.
No, heads on the ring post.
One of the most controversial figures in the history of the squared circle, Jim Cornette has seen everything, learned everything, and done everything there is to do in the business. A genuine original who broke into the industry through sheer pluck and determination.
I've been busted open.
Ooh, Cornette.
Jimmy's job was to get the bad guys he managed over with the crowd, and he did it by relying on his single greatest talent, an unbelievable ability
To talk.
make himself hated.
Not only am I gonna beat your brains out, but now I'm going after revenge, and you better believe I'm gonna get it. You stinking scumbags!
But when I
So Eric Freeman. I'm trying not to laugh, yeah.
photographer from Jerry Jarrett, and he took pictures around the ring. The boys bought their pictures from Jimmy to sell his gimmicks. And I never forget this. I never forget this. I was sitting there, and Jerry Jarrett looked at him because he was talking about managing him. And Jerry Jarrett said, "Jimmy, if you get in same heat with the fans,
What's up, Skull? How you doing, man?
do the boys, we're gonna make $1 million."
Ooh, Midnight Express.
At the time I was managing the Midnight Express, Bobby Eaton and Dennis Condrey, who were not only the top heel team in Crockett Promotions, but we were also probably the most unpopular members of the Crockett Promotions roster at that point in time. The fans despised us. Burning Ronnie Garvin with the fireball.
Oh, the fireball.
Hitting Baby Doll in the stomach with the tennis racket.
Jeez, that's dangerous. The fireball?
Express. One night, they picked Ricky Morton up and they threw him up in the air and he came down with his throat first on the edge of my tennis racket. And then for a couple weeks he couldn't speak and they saw the camera got him bleeding from the mouth. That's the things you need to do to be successful.
That's
People need to
great,
believe
Skull.
in you, and they need to believe in what you're doing. And then if you're a baby face, they will live and die with your triumphs and tragedies. If you're a heel, they will root to see you get yours until the end of time.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Night of the Skywalkers!
The Night of the Skywalkers became tug of war between the booker and who the hell was going to go up on that scaffold. If you want to know the truth. I know I said no thank you.
I never felt it was safe.
Scaffold?
What's it say, David?
I hated it, every minute of it. I hated that match.
You have it, two teams in the air on the scaffold, 20 feet in the air for the first time.
Dangerous.
It's Starrcade 86, the Skywalker.
Starrcade was the big event of the year for Jim Crockett.
Very
Promotions.
dangerous.
Dusty Rhodes decided to put the Midnight Express against the Road Warriors in a scaffold match.
Ooh.
The next day after that aired on TV, every arena we went to, the people are chanting, Pumpkinhead, Pumpkinhead.
Pumpkinhead.
Call me or the Midnight Express, Pumpkinhead. I'm getting sick and tired of that. I'm hearing it all over the arena and I don't like it. Now, let me tell you something. We are not Pumpkinheads.
People paid to see one of us, especially me, potentially die.
Oh, is this the
The original idea that
When J-
Dusty had would be
when Cornette fell off the scaffold?
but then to give the people
You think he
what they
broke his
wanted to
ankle?
see, the Road Warriors manager Paul Ellery would chase me up the ladder to the top of the scaffold where I'd be cornered with no way out.
I think that's where he broke his ankle, right?
Some way or another, I would fall to the ring below. And I'm not an acrobat. So I got with Animal of the Road Warriors and I said, some way or another, I will get down on my stomach and try to get underneath that thing to get away from it. Just grab my leg. Then I will scream, let go of me! And let go of my leg, and I'll go over the side, and I'll hang, and I'll drop.
And he'll drop.
Bubba Rogers, who was my bodyguard that my mother had hired and sent from Louisville to protect me,
Bubba Rogers.
is going to be down there trying to break my fall to the ring below. So he's standing there, and he's waiting, and I'm saying I wait till I stop swinging and then I let go.
He wasn't caught, right? He didn't get caught. All right, let's continue with the next trivia, next questions here. Yeah, I was like Thunder Rosa with the yes, no, yes. And then half my questions are gone. Okay, so Skull, try to refrain from using music on your streams. You could get copyrighted, Skull. Yeah, Roy, yeah, hey, man, if you want to be held to that, that's perfectly fine, man. So if you do trivia again, you will be stripped of your moderator position. How controversial are Boots' stand-up comedy shows? They're very controversial, and he doesn't get a lot of laughs. That's the thing. Boots, I don't know if he was always this weird, per se. I mean, he's changed a lot over the years. I'm not sure what inciting incident made him go further, but he has changed a lot. What are 3 weird things you have ever done we don't know about? Good question. 3 weird things that I've done that you guys don't know about. I used to be really into eBay. Like, I used to be selling stuff on eBay like crazy. And I was so much into it that, like, I would purposely have listings ending every day so I could see the listings, like, get bids on them and stuff. Like, it was kind of like a rush for me. So I thought that was really cool back in the day. But what made me stop was that I got banned for getting a lot of negative feedback, because apparently I was charging too much for shipping. So people couldn't give you negative feedback for that. So I was banned for 5 years, and I got my account reinstated literally a few years ago. Now we'll continue more questions after this.
And I would kick my feet up and drop, and the Midnight Express and Bubba would catch me like they catch the cheerleaders at the football games. So when we first looked at that scaffold, I said, boys, the University of Alabama football team couldn't catch me coming flat on my back off that thing. I'll kill all of us. So I said,
Yeah.
Bubba, you're 6'7", you're 350 pounds. When I drop, I'm going to put my arms out and just kind of get under me, and we'll drop and go to the left. Drop and roll to the left.
So high. He missed him completely.
I dropped like I'd been shot from a cannon. I look up and I said, oh, gee. And my voice is going up to like this. Bubba, I'm hurt. Carry me. I cannot walk. Get me out of here. So when I landed, I tore my anterior cruciate ligament in my right knee. To fix an ACL was like 5 days in the hospital and a week or a month on crutches and 6 months back, and I couldn't take that much time off. And back then, you didn't get paid if you didn't go to work.
It's the return of, I knew you thought you were rid of me, didn't you? Huh?
It's just fine. I was able to live without an ACL for 36 years.
36 years?
Jimmy, he's the greatest heel talker.
He never got it fixed? The ACL? You serious? Bubba missed him completely. What a... How dare he? Jeez.
In the territory days, workers relied on the magic of kayfabe to transform themselves into personalities that were larger than life, and which sometimes bore little resemblance to the person behind the character. But a young football player from Minnesota named Scott Simpson was told at the height of the Cold War that he would be introduced to fans as an angry, menacing Russian. Simpson went all in. The world was introduced to Nikita Koloff.
Nikita Koloff. The Russian Nightmare.
So I'm born Scott Simpson, you know, the football player from Minnesota, and would eventually evolve into the Russian Nightmare.
Oh, that's Nikita talking right now.
I call the promoter Jim Crockett Jr. I have a 5-minute conversation with him on the phone. I'm like, now, Mr. Crockett, before I come to North Carolina, you understand I have no amateur wrestling background. I have no professional training. I haven't even been in a ring. He goes, well, they told me that. I go, you're good with that? He goes, yep. I go, well, what's the next step? He goes, be in my office with your head shaved on such and such a day. I go, that's it? He goes, that's it. I go, I'll see you then.
Now welcome, Mr. Nikita
Never even in the ring.
Ivan's nephew to the United States.
Ivan was an interesting character. He was instrumental in helping me develop the character of Nikita Koloff. He took me everywhere. I spoke zero English, no English to anyone. He's like, he doesn't speak any English. I'm his uncle. I'll co-sign for him. I ordered a subscription to Pravda magazine to be delivered because I figured, hey, if the mailman delivers, he's going to go, wow, this really is him, Nikita Koloff.
You know, there's one thing about Nikita. He made you
Lived his
believe.
gimmick.
He made you believe 24/7.
Gold's Gym on South Boulevard, you remember that?
Yeah.
I go in there and I look over and I see this bald-headed guy with a handlebar mustache, man, and he is jacked. I go over
Jacked.
and he goes, "SHOUTOUT." Okay. And it pissed me off for a minute, and then I went, you know what? This guy's protecting his gimmick, and yes, I respect that.
He adopted the Russian accent everywhere, including in the locker room, in front of all the wrestlers. And finally, Arn Anderson said one day, Nikita, we know you're from Minnesota. Drop the accent.
Of everybody I ran across, never saw anybody go to the lengths that Nikita did to protect that gimmick.
Yeah.
Everything he did in the ring and out of the ring, he believed it.
There was one time I was at the supermarket and this grocery kid comes up to me and speaks full Russian. I'm like, oh dear Lord, what do I do with this, right? But he says something to me in Russian. I just look back and go, what? And he's like, okay. So he starts speaking some broken English to me, but I'm a heel, right? So I just walk away. Believe it or not, I'm out here in Hollywood, screen testing for Rocky IV, Sylvester Stallone,
Ooh.
Richard Mills, so they're all here.
Rocky
I'm
IV.
on the set, and I never break character. I didn't break character when I'm in the limousine. I didn't break character in the studio. When I talk to Stallone, I'm in the Nikita Koloff character. Stallone says, hey, let's do one more take, deliver your lines, but halfway through, turn to me and let's have a nose-to-nose stare down, but finish your lines. We have that nose-to-nose stare down, and they all cut, and he goes, how was it? And they go, well, it was really good until you turned towards each other, and then we lost you in his shadow. And I thought two things real quick. I thought, not good for his ego, not good for my opportunity, right? And then a couple weeks later, they called me and said, man, you nailed the lines, but you're just too big. Didn't land the role, but it was,
It's too big.
fun to have a shot at it. You want to know how far I carried this? My daughter Kendra, when she was born, the hospital you're supposed to put like your birthplace as a dad, it says Lithuania on her birth certificate.
Wow.
That's how far I carried this whole character and persona. And so, at this stage of life,
Wow.
there's no point to go back to Scott Simpson. It doesn't make any sense. Everybody knows me as Nikita Koloff, and so that's who I am.
Wow. He lived his gimmick. More than The Undertaker.
But it wasn't just the bad guys who needed the audience to believe. So when a plane crash severely injured several members of the Mid-Atlantic roster,
Oh, yeah.
to expose the business, there was only one man who could save the company. A
Jeez.
babyface, a hero, and his name was Mr. Wrestling.
Mr. Wrestling.
Mr. Wrestling Tim Woods. He, in effect, is the man who saved the wrestling business.
Really? Tim Woods? Tim Woods. He sounds very familiar. Okay, more questions here. Let's see what we have here. Would Boots and I do any dare we ask you to do? I don't think so. I'm not going to partake in that. No truth or dare type things here, buddy. You dare me to give Boots a wedgie on the live stream? That's a good idea. However, it may break out into a fist fight. So I would prevent, I'm trying to prevent things like that from occurring. When am I and Sarah officially getting married? Not sure yet. You know, when everything that happened, we may take some time, you know. We're pretty much married already. We're living together, so I don't know. We'll see. Would I blame myself as a wrestler, Rory? Given the right opportunity, I'll do whatever I have to do. What will you do as a main event for WWE if they come to Puerto Rico? Say Bunny versus Paul. I think that's an awesome main event. Sportskeeda? No, I haven't. I haven't watched Sportskeeda recently. Dro's going to see Frank D. Lanterman, Regional Center, tomorrow morning on Zoom. That's great, Dro. Enjoy yourself, man. Have you ever thought of doing the Trivia World Cup tournament? That's my question, Dro said. Garrett asked. Yes, I'm thinking about doing a tournament for wrestling trivia sometime in December. Can you name one of the Hall of Fame for this year's class on Friday? Hall of Fame? Well, that's not going to be until next year, bro. Hey, Swerve. What's going on, Swerve? How you doing, bro? Yeah, that's going to be a long time away by WrestleMania. So, yeah, that's going to be a long time away. So, I will be doing community awards, though, in December. Community awards. Those will be taking place in December, and probably the Best in the World Trivia Tournament. So to crown who is the actual best trivia competitor in the world. So we're gonna find out. Oh, okay, yeah. Any more questions, guys? You guys got questions? I got answers. I'm answering all questions in between commercial breaks of the show. What's up, Brian Campbell? How you doing, my friend? So I'm actually going to cut out right after the show ends tonight. I won't be sticking around. I have to wake up very early tomorrow. So make sure you guys give me any more questions you guys have for me. You don't want to be in a tournament? Well, you could. You know, it's an unofficial tournament to compete just to see who's the best in trivia. You know, like who is the absolute best in trivia, right? When there's no option, when there's no super chat option, when there's just trivia. Like who's the best? Am I Midas? We got questions, we got answers. That's his slogan. Yeah. Something like that.
And in the days that follow, a veteran wrestler named Tim Woods will do more than just survive. He'll also save the company.
Okay, Dro. Mr. Wrestling says, saves kayfabe.
Sunday afternoon, get a call from my brother Jimmy, asking me if I would go to Wilmington for him. Some wrestlers are flying down, so he was going to fly down with them. And I said, okay. Bob Burgers was out there, Tim Woods, Rick, Johnny Valentine, pilot. He was checking the fuel in the plane. I made some joke about, hope you're not dumping fuel.
Hope you're not dumping fuel.
About Florence, Lumberton area, the right side engine started to sputter, and he feathered that. To this day, I don't know why he didn't land in Florence, which has an airport. Lumberton has one. Just don't know. But he continued. The other engine started to sputter over the
sitting there, you know, I'm looking at all the beef in front of me, and beside me, God, we go in that river. There's no way I'm going to get out of this. And I bent over. I was trying to control my breathing. It was deadly quiet.
Oh.
And this last thing.
Oh, jeez. No, I'm not going to Buffalo.
Wilmington in 1975 was probably the defining moment in Jim Crockett Promotions in the Carolinas. It was about to be a situation where their business was either going to survive or be incredibly hurt, not only because of the talent they lost, but because of who was on that plane. Johnny Valentine, who was the top heel in the territory and had been a legendary name in wrestling for 25 years, he never wrestled again because of his injuries, broken back,
Wow.
legs. Bob Bruggers, who had been a football star and was just starting into wrestling, and that ended his career as well. David Crockett, one of the promoters, one of the Crockett family, was on the plane.
David Crockett and I laid in the same hospital for 2 weeks. After the airplane, we were...
Also was Nature Boy Ric Flair. Obviously, his best years were yet to come, but in that plane crash, he broke his back. And he was out of action for over 6 months. At the time, the doctor said he may not walk again, would definitely never wrestle again. He dropped like 50 pounds, worked out, and was back in the ring in 6 months. But the problem became the other guy on the plane was Mr. Wrestling Tim Woods. He not only was a babyface, he was the babyface. He wore a white mask and white tights and white boots. He was the symbol of clean, scientific wrestling. As crazy as it sounds, these guys had just been in a plane crash, but Woods had to know as soon as he regained consciousness, shit, I'm the one that don't fit this picture and I shouldn't be here. Because it was completely against the rules.
Wow.
For any baby faces and heels to be seen together in public ever. This plane crash got coverage. It was news. The wrestlers were celebrities in the Carolinas, and planes don't crash in Wilmington every day.
Yeah.
If the people had found out that Johnny Valentine, the most hated heel in the territory, was riding on the same private plane as his enemy at the time, the hero, Mr. Wrestling Tim Woods, it would have killed wrestling in the Carolinas. When the police came, the authorities came, Tim Woods gave his name as George Wooden. That was his real name. And he told the people that his occupation was...
All right, Joe, wish you luck.
The fans in some of the towns surrounding, some of them knew that there wasn't a promoter named George Wooden. Could that be Tim Wood? The rumor started that it was Tim Woods, Mr. Wrestling, on that plane with Johnny Valentine.
Ooh.
Woods didn't have injuries like the other guys. I mean, he didn't have his back broken. He was ambulatory, but he had broken ribs. He'd been in a plane crash, right? He's in the hospital. He checks himself out against medical advice.
Wow.
And goes home to recuperate. But to make sure to throw the wrestling fans off the track, the following weekend at a TV taping, he suited up to show that he was okay, to show that he couldn't have possibly been in a plane crash. Because here he is on TV 3 days later, wrestling, and there's nothing wrong with him. And Jim Crockett Jr. has been quoted as saying, due to what he did, the sacrifice he made by checking himself out of the hospital against medical advice, putting his tights on,
wow,
getting in the ring and having a match with those injuries to protect the business, saved professional wrestling in the Carolinas. That would later become the only threat to Vince McMahon in the wrestling war of the 80s, and Crockett Promotions would later become WCW, that was Vince's only competition in the 90s. Tim Woods set in motion a chain of events that helped the business survive that and get over the hump to go on and be one of the two biggest promotions of the next 20 years in the United States.
I don't know how we made it. Every seat in that plane broke loose except mine. To this day, I go, God's got another plan for me.
Jeez.
I should not have made it.
Wow. All right, more questions, and I have answers. All right, here we go. What will finally break the internet? Not sure. What would be on the gag reel of your life? All the pranks I've done on Poppy. What is the worst smelling place you've been to? Not exactly sure. Probably a basement of some sort. What would you name your boat if you had one? Knox. What's the best restaurant I've ever been to? Garrett asks. Ruth Chris's. What celebrity and female wrestler would you rate as a perfect 10? Mandy Rose. None. That's right, Sarah's none, right? That's right. What's a body part that you... Yeah, that's a tough question to answer. I'm probably not going to answer that, buddy.
What? My name is not Sarah. My name is...
What is the craziest thing one of your teachers had done?
To kick your ass.
Craziest thing? We were at grade school, and the teacher said, if you're white, you get white milk. You get regular milk. If you're black, you get chocolate milk.
I'm black.
That was horrible. So I actually traded milk with my friend, and that was really horrible.
You can say you're black. There you go.
Oh, StreamYards, Swerve. No, I'm not doing StreamYards. What is the scariest place in New York City you would say now is? Scariest place? What's up, Kurt Manchester? Yeah, really messed up teachers, Swerve. Really. I gotta say, not sure the scariest places. You know, I'm not really. I don't think there's many scary places for me. I don't know, but in New York City. Yeah, but you know, it's all good. Great, Kurt. How you doing? Tully's confession. What's up, Hannah? That's Ricky Morton talking.
And she wants to watch Tully Blanchard on the 700 Club. And we're sitting there watching it. Tully's talking, he's giving his testimony, he's talking. Then all of a sudden he goes, I remember back in the day, and I'm going, oh shit. No, here we go. I remember back in the day, and it's not me and the boys. Me, and I'm going down in my seat.
Thank you, Kurt. Much appreciated, bro.
I'll be cocaine, different women every night. And I looked at my wife. I could just see steam, and I'm serious. I could see horns.
Now you're right about that, Swerve. Absolutely.
I was into that. How can you get out of it?
There's no comeback.
No, sorry, there's no hot tag.
No.
But really, if I'd have met Tully then, it's so.
Oh, anytime, Rory. More questions. You guys got more questions. Go ahead.
Few things last forever, especially the good times. As the wrestling world exploded in popularity,
Great question, Garrett.
the system collapsed under its own weight. In 1988, Jim Crockett Promotions was sold to billionaire Ted Turner.
Ted Turner, he bought it.
Rebranded World Championship Wrestling, or WCW. But for those who were there, for those who elevated NWA Mid-Atlantic to its peak, the memories have lasted a lifetime.
Oh yeah, I could imagine.
I loved my time at NWA. The chemistry that we put together into the ring that made NWA what it was. To me, wasn't me, and it wasn't Dusty, it wasn't the Midnight Express, it wasn't the Four Horsemen. It was everybody.
The mentality was we were going to sink or swim together. Really was a family day. Really was.
Jim Crockett promotion at that time provided the life that we wanted.
David Crockett, Vice President Jim Crockett Promotions, my good friend, and a man that everybody out there can respect.
We cared about each other. We loved each other. And it was a brotherhood and a sisterhood.
I was the only girl for a year and a half, almost 2 years. That the respect that you guys gave me and how you treated me says so much for it, because working with other people and hearing, just the horror stories, you guys were gold, and I so appreciate that.
My living depended on him. His living depended on me. Her affiliation with us, we were all part of the same team.
And mine depended on yours.
And David, we were all working for you and your family, but we were working for each other.
I want to thank you guys, all of you.
I got you, buddy.
Baby doll, I mean,
You're gonna make me cry. Stop it.
I had that
This guy's so appreciative.
People say describe what it was. It was just like, it was magic. It was just magic.
Magic, that's it. All right, guys, let me see what other questions we have here. 3 presidents I would want to meet. Of all time? I mean, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, and Bill Clinton. My favorite match that I ever did with my brother in IWF. It's a match I never posted. I haven't posted yet. I have a lot of matches I still have to post. It was Poppy Ed and Johnny Boots. They were called the Tough and the Odd in a tag team match against me and my tag team partner, the Road Dogg Sparky Bear. It was a tornado tag match. And that match was probably my favorite match of all time, because it was everything was just on point. And Sparky, he knew where he had to be. He actually competed in the match, and it was just so amazing. It was so electrifying, if I had to give it a word. I'm going to post it, though. Do I like listening to my old YouTube stream, Swerve? Sometimes, yeah, but I'm not too keen on it. Sometimes I watch them back here and there, but not too often. My 2 favorite Canadian wrestlers of all time, that'll be Bret the Hitman Hart and Chris Jericho. Dro, if you could get an aid, man, if it helps you. Absolutely. Name your 2 favorite American wrestlers of all time. Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Undertaker. Yeah, I have a lot of wrestling matches I have to upload. I only uploaded like the very first year of our wrestling. And it was like 2001. It was 20 years ago. Do I ever go back and watch the fights from StreamYards? Rory says, yeah, sometimes when I want to get a kick out of something, sure. Have any people in my neighborhood asked to use one of my belts for my federation? Swerve says, no, not really. I actually sold all of my belts. I just got this belt back. I sold all of my belts. I had like 20 belts. I sold them throughout the years. And that's the first belt I got back. I only have one belt now. What's up, Jacob, King of Cleveland? Sheesh. Oh, yeah. I thought I saw a little bit of that. You making fun of JD from New York? No, I'm not a subscriber of Grim, Dro. Grim the Legend. Was IWF on public access, BCAT? No, there wasn't. But I would have loved for it to be on there. And it would have been the dream come true for us, Boots and I, to have an audience like you guys when we were kids, you know, when we were younger. It would have been a dream come true for us to actually perform for you guys. And I got to get those videos up and uploaded. I only uploaded like 10 matches so far, and we have probably almost 100 matches. IWC? I mean, IWF, Dro. That was the wrestling company that Johnny Boots and myself started. And it was just between us and Poppy and our dog Sparky. But we also played different characters in it. It was called the IWF, Iron Man Wrestling Federation. You guys could see it. I have a playlist for it, I think. And I have the videos up on the channel. If you guys want to check them out anytime, go right ahead. But I got to get them uploaded because we have so much more to show. You know what I mean? Oh, definitely Harper. You know, he loses himself with some of these storylines. Fire Ronda Rousey? Why? Why would they fire her? That's really odd. Any final questions you guys have before I sign out? I want to thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. And, you know, I'm so thankful to each and every one of you guys for tuning in each and every week, stopping by, saying hello. Much appreciated, guys. I really do appreciate it. And this is a dream come true for me to be going... to be getting so much exposure now, thanks to you guys. Have I done anything besides wrestling that we don't know about, Swerve? You know, it's funny. Rory asked a similar question earlier, and I answered that I used to do eBay a lot. And I still have an eBay account now, but I used to be really into it. Like, I used to be like to sell stuff on there, and to the point where I would have listings end every day, and I would love to see people bidding on them and stuff, and it was so cool for me. And yeah, but I got banned from eBay though because I got too much negative feedback because I was charging too much for shipping apparently. So I got banned, and it was like the worst thing for me. I was like, oh, I was so upset. And 5 years later, I got an email saying, hey, your account's reinstated. So I went back, but I never went back to eBay as I did back then. Like now I just do it recreationally, no problem. You want to do it? Yeah. I mean, I found it very, it was kind of addicting because, yeah, I started just finding stuff around the house and listing them, and then selling stuff here and there, and then I just branched out. That's where I found out about gold bars and silver bars and platinum bars. What I give some of you guys as prizes. I used to sell those on eBay. Like, I would buy them wholesale, and I would sell them at a profit on eBay, and that was like a business for me. And it was crazy. You know, people would just they didn't understand how small the bars were. That was the problem. Because I would zoom in on the bars and the pictures. They just wouldn't understand it, and I would get negative feedback off of that too. Hey, what's going on, Ethan Lawrence? How you doing, bro? Would Ped make a comeback, Roy? Only if necessary will Ped make a comeback. My alter ego. But going back in time, I don't regret that whole thing with Ped. Not one bit, because look at him now. I think he's very successful now on his channel, the Nightbot. So I wouldn't go back in time and change that, because look how he's successful he is now. He's doing very good on his channel. Not as successful as me, but he's there. He's getting there. Would I make a spoof of Nightbot? I don't know. They thought they were buying a brick. Yeah, they thought they were buying like a bar you could hold, but it was like a little tiny bar, like this big, in a card. But it's real gold and real silver and stuff. Would I do Retro Night and 30-year anniversary? Well, Retro Week was so cool. And it was so monumental, Retro Week. And it's like everyone came back almost. Everyone came back. And I think it brought us all together. Hustler. Yep. But, yeah, I mean, I definitely want to have another Retro Week, though, because I thought it was very impactful. A lot of people came back. A lot of people didn't come back, but hey, what can you do, right? But yeah, that's I don't know if you guys know. That's all you got. I mean, I don't have anything else that you guys don't know about me. I talk about a lot of things that I've done, you know, and I'm a green belt in Taekwondo, and also in Judo. If that holds any weight, I don't know. But if anything, yes, I know how to defend myself if something were to happen. But I'm not a violent person by any means. However, that's why I say that. That's why I get upset when I watch wrestling and some guy intentionally hurts somebody or misses him when he doesn't catch him, or somebody drops the ball and hurts somebody. I hate that stuff, because if I was in the ring and someone legitimately tried to sabotage me, I would just, I might lose my temper and say, you know what? I'm not gonna get maimed because you're not going to uphold your end of the bargain and make sure that I'm protected. You know what I mean? Make 5 female divas be in Hustler magazine. Who would they be? Good question, Roy. I'd have to say Mandy Rose, Melina, Bliss, Naomi, and Sasha Banks. A reunion, Roy. Yeah, I had a dream like a year or two ago that I made it big, right? And I literally had a dream that I was I rented out a penthouse of a hotel, and I invited everyone from the stream to come from all over the world, right? And I think I had made it so big that I was able to fund everybody's trip to come to the penthouse. And it was funny. Elvis was in there. He was eating lobster and shrimp from because I had a seafood platter made, and for some reason John Elway was there too. It was wild. Like I said, guys, I have very vivid dreams, and that's side effect of keto, actually. We'd like to interview Sandman on a StreamYard. Yeah, definitely, Garrett. I'm gonna see if Sandman will be down with that. Roy, I never had a dream about you. Never showed up in one of my dreams, actually. That's the thing. Like, you can't really control who shows up in dreams and whatnot. You know what I mean? What's up, Danny? Oh, that's what you like, Rory? Well, like I said, I got a platter for everybody, you know. But for some reason, I saw Elvis in the dream, and he was helping himself to the lobster and shrimp he was eating. And John Elway was there. I was talking to John Elway for some reason. I don't know why. But for some reason, in the dream, I knew I made it big, and big enough so I could fund everyone from all over the world to come meet me at this penthouse, and we're gonna party it up, have a good time. But hey, you never know, guys. You just never know, guys, what's gonna happen in this world. You just never know. But one thing's for sure: if I make it big, I'm not going alone. You guys are coming with me. So just want to let you guys know that, how much I appreciate you guys. But in any case, which wrestlers I want to train me? Roy, Stone Cold, Steve Austin. I think he would be an awesome trainer. All right, guys. So I'm going to catch you guys next time on the live stream on SmackDown. So have a great night, everybody. Be safe and be well. Good night, everybody. MATTROISE signing out. 5 wrestlers to help in promos: John Cena, Triple H, who else? Stone Cold, The Undertaker, and The Rock. All right, good night, Garrett. Good night, Rorito. Good night, everybody. Be safe, be well. MATTROISE signing out. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. It's always a pleasure to see you guys. Good night, everybody.